Hi guys. So I thought today I would do a quick little demo tutorial-ish sort of thing on liquid liner. I really love liquid liner. I love winged liner. That's kind of one of my go-to looks. So I thought I would share some of my tips, I guess, tricks, because I have kind of droopy, fleshy, slightly hooded eyelids. So winged liner isn't as simple as just like, oh yes, lovely wing, perfect every time. You know, there's a little bit more complicated than that. Okay, so I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild waterproof liquid eyeliner in Ultra Black. I'm using a brush applicator instead of the tip that comes with this, just because I happen to like it better. It's kind of up to you whether you prefer a felt tip or a brush or a separate brush altogether, but I like these really thin little eyeliner brushes. So that's what I'm gonna work with, and let's dive right on in. To start, regardless of what the end look is going to be, I go in with the brush just to paint a very thin line all the way across the lash line. So I usually start in the center just in case I have gotten too much product, because I prefer to have it thicker towards the outside edge. And then I'll go into the inner corner. And it doesn't have to be perfect first, just a thin line almost to the end. You don't even have to go all the way to the end, especially if you have hooded lids. We'll get into that in a moment. All right, so a basic line on each eye. And really, I think the key is patience. If you need to blink, move the brush away, blink, and then go back in, because it's going to be much quicker in the long run to, you know, have to kind of stop and go a few times rather than blink mid and have to, you know, then you have to redo your eye look. So patience is key. And then, you know, once you get a hang of working with your own eye shape, you'll be able to do this much quicker. All right, so now I'm going back in to start to go with the wings. What I like to do, because again, I have that my eyelid, you know, kind of droops. I don't know if you can see. It droops down, so it's not, you know, a nice, just, you know, tight, clean canvas. I have a little bit of stuff to work with. So, I don't know if any of that makes sense. You'll see what I mean as we move along. But, and both eyes are different, which makes it even more exciting. So what I like to do to start building the wings, is to look straight ahead in a mirror and then just do the bottom line of the wing. So starting from the outside edge of the eye and then just drawing up. And then same thing on the other side, looking straight ahead. And draw up. Now again, this line does not have to be perfect. In fact, that one's really bad. And if you mess up, cotton buds are your friend. I mean, look at this already. See why I start? Because this shape is going to be very different from this one. See how this one's kind of almost going down and this one's like... So I'll be right back. I'm going to clean that up. All right, so we're a little bit more even. Not exactly, and if I worried about that, I would never, ever be able to do this look. So we're just going to work with what's going on right now. So now that that bottom line is on, start to actually build that wing. So from the outer edge, outer point, just going to draw a line to meet the lid. And then fill it in. So there's our basic shape, but look, if I close my eye, see how there's gaps? Look at that. That's all of the lid that's kind of folded under when I'm looking straight ahead. That's what makes this so interesting on, you know, someone like me doesn't maybe have that lovely smooth canvas to work on. So it's totally up to you whether you want to connect that in. So if you wanted to, you could just lift that lid up and fill in. I'm going to let that dry for a moment because the only problem I have with this is it does take a moment to set. Once it sets, it's pretty budge proof. But if I were to open my eye, I might make a mess. All right, so that's still not perfect, but I'm going to do the other eye first. And I find this moving from side to side to be really helpful in trying to keep them, you know, at least cohesive, if not even. So again, looking straight ahead, outside edge, and bring it in. All right, now because I'm a perfectionist, I'm just going to go back and clean this up and try to maybe even them out just a little bit. I know this side is a bigger wing than this side. So again, depending on what look I'm going for, I usually try to start small because it's easier to build up than clean up, really. So I'm just going to extend this wing a little bit. And then just even out our first line with the wing. That makes sense? I hope so. Since I can't hear you right now, answer my question. All right, I played with them a little too much, as often happens. But after I get the wing, I like to go back, and I usually tend to thicken up the outer edge of the liner. But that's up to you, what kind of style you want to play with. And then if I really feel the need to, I'll go in with a Q-tip with makeup remover and just kind of clean up the lines a little bit. As a final touch, you could always take some concealer on a small brush and just kind of paint along the outside edge just to sharpen it up if you wanted to. But hopefully that is helpful. And again, like I said, you know, patience, especially if it's something that you're not that comfortable with yet. You're going to have to play with it. You're going to have to play with what angle of wing looks good. If this is something that's newer to you, and I recommend getting, you know, a cheap, I think this is like $3. They also have a non-waterproof version that's a little bit easier to play with, so I might recommend that first. There are lots of different mediums of eyeliner. I don't find pencil liners to be able to do the winged thing that well, but you got your gels or creams. You have eyeliner pens that have a felt tip. There are a lot of options to choose from, so you can find one that works for you. It's just going to take some experimentation. You know, and if it's something that you really want to learn, you know, carve out 10 minutes, 15 minutes that you can just sit in front of a mirror and play with it and just let it be playful. Experiment with different sizes of wings, different angles, you know, make those wings up or make them a little straighter. You can try making them large or small, bring it under the lash line. Just play with it. Make it fun. You can always wash it off. It's all good. And like I said, maybe try doing one eye and then one eye and then one eye and then one eye, kind of bouncing back and forth to help keep it even. If you have, you know, a hooded eye or fleshy, as I keep saying, which is the least sexy term I can possibly think of, I'm sure. But if you have that issue, starting with that bottom line first on both eyes, and then slowly drawing in and filling in, and see how that works. I'd love to know if you play with this technique, or if this is not really a technique and it's just common sense, and this whole video is kind of like, yeah, we know. Let me know. And otherwise, have a wonderful day. You can like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want below, and I'll see you later. Bye.